Okay, so this is pretty random stuff that I'm doing here. I know you can't see it, but I was trying to let's see if this will. I was gonna try and keep a list as I was going. You can kind of see it, right? I'm kind of in the dark here, right? But I will have to add it in after they're uploaded and go through them and try and make sure that I don't move out or sorry, miss out on last time I did an upload, I missed out on 5A and put B there, and then I had to go back and it came in last and kind of broke the train of thought there, right? But I got a little time here, right? So I'm just gonna do it this way. This is one of the first. I have a couple of them. One of the first, moderator, kid-friendly promotions. What does it mean to you? I really wanted to try and build up a children's, channel, but before you can do that, sometimes you have to kind of, focus on things that adults are interested in. So, that's why a lot of my playlist deals with issues, whether it's the oil disaster in the Gulf Coast of Mexico, or what's going on in London and places like that, or hunger in DC, and this is obviously one of my videos. So this is kind of cool, right? The way they've got this little setup here. So I'll just bring this back. You can see, right? Yeah. And we just played this one here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn that off. And we're going to get up into another one here. What's this one? This one I kind of had it started. So, oh yes. We'll listen to this one. This is BC 1989, Exxon Valdez. We're faced with this again because our parliaments are trying to make it so that the big ships drive up and down through the passes, and this is a beautiful song. Very sad images, though. And it's going to be very hard to find this in the playlist because you can't even access them, So in my mind, the information is getting buried, and you can't let people do something and then just turn around and take it away because you don't like the fact that they're smart and they can put things together that actually make sense with the information, right? And this is the BC Pass. That's the Spirit Bear. That's supposed to be protected, but not so much once they start, polluting the waterways. This is the west coast of Canada we're looking at here. This is what's at stake. Listen to Billy again here, see what he has to say. See if he remembers.
It's really at the point that really can make a difference. Is it president? Is it VP?
General Allen could step up to the plate and say, enough's enough. I'm putting Joe Blow in charge, and he's going to have somebody over each parish that can make the decision. We're going to get him the boom. We're going to go ahead and say, let's pump every Barry Island, and we are going to do everything physically possible to keep this all from coming to shore. When I got in the helicopter the first time with Stanton, head of New Orleans, and he said, oh, don't worry, Mr. President, we're going to help you clean up. I turned to him and said, land this chopper. There is no cleanup in South Louisiana. You either prevent it from getting or we're dead. We're going to die a slow death because they didn't hear the warning way back when. And And that's the bottom line. There is no leadership. Mary Landers and the chief of staff for General Allen was on the phone with me, and they were giving me, when I got this number 7 excuse, we don't have enough money. This will take a third of the budget for the whole cleanup. You can't do it in 6 months. Well, I want to know what expert has more detailed information than the people who've been doing drugs.
I don't know what playlist we're on, but we're on a playlist anyway.
Who's the person I told you about?
This is Mary Landers and General Allen's executive aide from Washington. And about 10 minutes into the conference call, I said, you know, we need leaders in this emergency. There's no leaders on this telephone call. You have given me excuse after excuse after excuse.
Did you actually say that?
I told him that. And I said, so I'm going to hang up now because you're not giving me anything useful.
I have a big
to save my
ad there,
Good
so
night.
we're just going to
And I hung
listen
up
to
on
Billy.
him. And then she called back and said, you know, you told the press about that. That was a confidential discussion. Bullshit. That was a cop-out and an excuse. And there is no confidential. I get paid with public money, so does she. The only time there should be a conference, any conversation through this whole thing that's confidential, if it puts life of property or people at risk. Other than that, transparency. Everybody should know everything going on. That's what's wrong with the process. There's too many secrets. Nobody can tell me they are holding up the project. They got to have a name. Give me somebody to put my hands around in that.
What would you tell your people in your parish right now?
We're trying. We're trying, but we got a brick wall in front of us. If they would have said, Billy, do what you need to do, and we'll support you. That's what the United States is supposed to do. We would have had a Barry Island pump by now, because I'd have put every marsh buggy, every barge with a bucket on it. We'd have built a Barry Island. Trees would be growing by now. I guarantee you. We'd have protected it, and we'd have had 89% of this oil outside, not in the marsh. It's going to cost 50 times what we estimated it would have spent. But what the hell is an emergency permit if they got to tear it? We spent 2 weeks putting it together. Something stinks. They were told to hold that permit out for some reason. Colonel Lee worked too hard to help us. He was excited for the first 2 weeks. When he walked into that airport on Monday evening, there was a different man. He didn't even look me in the eye. Well, we got a lot of things to look at, but what? A lot of procedures. What are those procedures? Well, a lot of them. That is bullshit. That is a cop-out and excuse. And we paying for that. We paying for it with their salaries, and we paying for it with the marshes and the wildlife in this state. And for that, it's criminal. They ought to go to jail.
It's that bad.
Anybody that stays in the way of doing everything physically possible, we should be throwing the kitchen sink at this place. What do you mean we don't go out in the afternoon to deploy boom? My guys were out there with flashlights last night. You know what? There's nobody in charge that has any passion for doing the right thing. It's a job to them. Guy at BP met me going through it. I'm going home for the weekend. I'm like, Greg, I didn't even know it was the weekend. Glad you could go home for the weekend. Absolutely ridiculous. See you later, buddy.
Come on, baby. What's happened here? Oh, there it comes. Well, we'll just have to wait for it.
August 31st, Galt Park Estates, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Lori Williams. This is the little bayou that they pulled the boom out of. Now the oil has kind of piled up in this corner here. All this is a solid sheen. If you notice, the marsh grass is dying.
No, you have to remember, these people live out there, so they know what's normal and what's not normal. And this is not normal because I watched this lady's videos and I seen just whole areas just kind of wither away, you know. Here's some more video. It's moving a little slow. but then, you know, I think sometimes it's YouTube. Looks like it's... Oh, there we
This
go.
is Lori Williams, Galt Park Estates, Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
I'm not going to be able to go this one right to the
Today
very
is
end, but we'll just
September
listen to see what she has to
1st,
say.
All the puddles down here this evening are basically just foaming. It's just about...
Okay. Nothing's moving. We'll just restart it and see if we can get this one to come back up. See how nice that was? That was pretty easy, eh?
Galt Park Estates.
It's going to be a little harder,
Ocean
though, when
Springs,
they
Mississippi.
wipe out my channel.
Today is September 1st, and all the puddles down here this evening are basically just foaming. It's just about every piece of dark earth that's out.
This one's sad.
This strange foamy spots in them. This whole area is covered in the sheen, bubbles. Show you one of the spots up here that's, when I say that it's actually got the appearance that it's almost like boiling.
This area was neglected
Going all back
by
out to
BP.
the water. Results came back today from the Boston lab from Horn Island, confirming that there is Corexit in the water, along with the crabs that they had pulled also tested positive.
It's important not to forget these things or have them buried and
This
get lost
is
in
what
the
foam
fray.
looks like before it starts working on the
Moving
sheet
up.
piles.
Moving up, moving up.
It's a whitish color, but after sitting
Killed a lot
here
of
for a little
grass.
while,
And then you get
I
into
guess it
the
starts
erosion
breaking up
of
the
the
sheen.
islands, right? Once the grass
turns
is
it into a
gone,
great big
the islands, the sand just gets washed out
nasty,
to sea.
slimy orange.
But,
color.
you know, there's speculation that, you
can
know,
look
it's
at
another
here,
land
you can
grab.
see these crabs.
If they can flush the people out and flush the
Their
fishermen out
shells
and,
almost have the
you know, make it
appearance of-
inhabitable where the people can't
They've been
live,
bleached.
it will be easier for the oil companies to move closer inshore
Still hearing quite a
and,
bit of
you know, drill because,
air
you know,
traffic.
they're always looking for another
Have been all
vein.
day. Here's some more of the foam. That's what happens after it sits here for a little while. These spots over here on this other side are really bad with the foam.
Okay, so we're
This whole
1421.
area here